Dark Hours is by Piece of Cake Studios. It's another cooperative
Hey, gang. It's Pete and his gang.
gang sim. And the conceit in this one is that you are a collective of heist makers, robbers, what do you call it? Cat burglars.
Heisters?
And heisters. And you are actually progressing through a series of missions given to you by a mob boss that get progressively more challenging. And you go into museums and galleries, and you're set with tasks of stealing very specific things within those places. The twist is, or the catch for this one, and with all of these games, is that there is a horror element to it, and it happens that every place you go to rob is haunted by some kind of ghost, monster, ethereal beast. You can push each other, which is very cute. But you, like a Phasmophobia or a bunch of these games, you kind of head in with equipment that you try to distribute evenly amongst the squad. Once you start earning money, you buy more equipment, better equipment, and you're better equipped to perform these heists. But as you go in, and Josh, if you wouldn't mind jumping well into
I don't know. I kind of like the pushing content.
The pushing content exists, but this is like the setup, and there's a series of maps where you can see here we've got to steal statuettes and make our way around. This is a museum, I think, collecting the valuables that we've been set out to steal. And I believe in this one there is a monster that. Nope, this is just that one that just comes for you for some reason.
Jesus.
Still working it all out. You can revive each other, and basically you're just being plagued the whole time by something attacking you. It might be a ghost that comes out of nowhere, like in that instance. The best one that we faced was one of those ones. It's all proximity chat in game, so one of the ones that hears you making sound. So we spent a bunch of time running behind each other and yelling so that the monster would take our friend. But yeah, I mean, all these games, as long as the construction of the game is good enough, you make the fun of it by being in there with people who are fun to play with. And this is Reese's perspective of the footage. We're playing with Sophie and James and myself and Reese. And yeah, we couldn't quite work out how. I think it was just you shine a light on that one and it goes away, or throw a rubber chicken at him.
Either or.
Yeah, but the missions themselves are kind of like 12, 15 minutes long, so you kind of do it in beats, which I've seen happening a little bit more. It's not just like do a mission and go back to base and you have a bunch of money. It's like this is a 3-stage mission.
Yeah, you're carrying it through without. You still go. You still can buy stuff, but you're not going back to.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Kind of like they're trying to tell a bit more of a narrative with each beat, but not so much.
I was going to say, does it feel like a narrative, or it's three missions strung together?
Yeah, it's kind of just it's just like the mob boss is like, well done, but now you got to go here and do this.
So is there a lamp in that? Yeah.
Why?
Might need.
But yeah, like the joy of this kind of game is what you got to do is like collect as much, like $50,000 we got to collect here, $50,000 worth of stuff.
Yep.
Which is just collecting stuff, and then there's the specific items as well. So you kind of like find tranq guns, like Polaroid cameras, all these things that you don't fully understand what they do. So the joy of the game is learning that. I don't know how much depth this one has next to what was the investigators, the photography one called?
Oh, the not this.
The headliners.
Headliners, thank you. Headliners has more longevity to me because the concept is more repeatable. Whereas this, I think, is really fun at the moment. And once I've kind of seen what everything does, I don't think I'd be interested in playing the game because I just don't think it's a strong enough concept. Once you learn how everything works, the fun of it is worn, which is fine. Like this game is it's like a $10 game or $15 game or something, and you get 10 hours worth of play before you've seen everything it has to offer. I think it's like these games are set at the right price point and they're fun for a few sessions. And at the moment, by the time you finished your time with this one, there's another version of this kind of thing out and ready
That's
to play.
kind of the way
so-
they're dropping, isn't
Yeah,
it? Like someone
yeah.
just thinks of a twist or a spin on it. Does the monster hunting element feel just a little at odds with the like heist? Because when I first saw this footage, I was like, cool, one of these kind of like cooperative, asymmetrical games where you're doing a heist and it's all going to play into all of that. And then the monster, I'm like, oh, okay. Does that feel a little cheap? Like just as a sort of mechanic to be, and your threat is there's a monster. Like it just feels a bit at odds with the theme they're going with here, I thought.
Well, I just think the theme is like Payday did it right.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, okay.
they're not gonna. It's not ever gonna feel as good as that. It's janky, like these games are. So
You're clearly busy in here.
Yeah.
I'll leave.
hello.
Yeah, no. Look, it's still cool. It adds the threat. It adds the fear. It adds
Yeah.
the. It can't just be how well do you pull off the heist. You need something that's a fail state. But I don't know. I just like.
I think if you make this game and it's different types of guards patrolling, that's a shitty, boring
You're right.
game.
Yeah, we can't come up with a better option than it. But I just thought it's interesting to put a monster in this one too. I guess.
Well, there's just a bunch of different types of monsters as
I guess
well,
we're just
which
saying
makes
the
it-
one, so
which
yeah,
makes it like that one's the least interesting. There's like there's the weeping angels,
Oh,
so someone's always got to be
cool.
looking at them.
Yeah, okay,
There's the you can't communicate, and like you learn. But most of this game is about communicating, talking over radios.
It does open up the creativity for weird sort of variables for each monster.
There's,
so yeah,
there's
I do
face
get that.
huggers that lay eggs that spawn new face huggers. So if you don't destroy the eggs, suddenly the map is just crawling with face huggers. So the lose condition is that you all get caught by a face hugger.
Yeah.
We failed a couple of missions. It's not like it's like a cakewalk of just like that creature. This is the creature that you need to stay silent for.
Yeah, okay. Now I'm on board. I've seen these other ones as well.
Yeah.
It's got some real Abigail energy of like they go in to do one thing and they're like, oh, there's a monster in here with us kind of energy. But
But this, like, to me, this was the most exciting map that we played. Trying to be quiet. It was paced well that it revealed this monster to us deep enough into the game that it was like, oh, we understand this game to be about communicating constantly. Now we're not allowed to.
Yeah.
Like, that kind of thing is good game design.
Yeah, true.
So there's clever stuff in here. But again, that payoff happens once.
Yeah.
And so the next time I go back to play this and I encounter this monster, it's less interesting. And
Less scary,
How
yeah.
many times is it interesting and how many times is it scary? I think this just has a shelf life that's pretty short, but again, I think it's priced correctly.
Yeah.
So I just love that all these games are coming
you
out.
paid less than my Raphael scheme.
I did for an
True.
entire game.
Yeah.
Yep. That is Dark Hours. It's in early access. It's been in early access since October last year, but it's again one of those ones that just like finds its way into high reviews on Steam, and suddenly people are playing it.